Okay. All right. So I guess tonight our purpose is to discuss our school views, and everybody was assigned two individuals to review their work, and just to pretty much give them some feedback on what you read, and any kind of pointers you could as far as helping them to improve their paper, in your opinion. Would anybody like to start off with one, or should I? I don't know. Well, since I have Tanya, I'll go ahead and start with Tanya. In reviewing Tanya's paper, as far as, I guess, the first part of the rubric where it says, is the content aligned with the course content and or appropriate external sources? I thought that Tanya did a great job of citing our class meeting. She also referred back to the very first course, the 601 course, where you had, was it Ubin? Am I pronouncing that right? I know that they wanted us to, he specifically said something about that one, you know, to kind of use that one in there. I thought she did a good job with that. She gave some great facts to support the decision her and the team made, as well as she gave a very good description of her school. So in reading it, I had a clear picture of her school and the district as a whole, and the people that they serve in the community. The breakdown of the group, again, that was a great job. The number of teachers, the entire population of the school, and the community at large. As I said, she did a great job. I feel like the problem solving in the piece was evident, and her research with her group shows that they did that did show some alignment, and there was critical thinking involved. There were a few errors, but I didn't think that they, you know, I didn't think that they were overwhelming. So I think that the small things she could definitely, you know, correct herself. So that to me, I pretty much thought that that was a 4. And with the problem solving, I gave that a 3. There's no particular reason. I just feel like we all can go back at the end of the day and maybe put some things in there to add to it. As far as her organization, I felt like she needed to go back, because I don't remember, Tanya, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you had headings in there.
I didn't.
Okay, and that would definitely add to your paper to go ahead and put those headings in there. It's just going to make for, you know, a great flow with your paper, a better flow with your paper, and add to the organization of it. So with that, I gave you a 2, but I know that that's something that's doable, and you've already told me that you kind of looked at my comments in advance and took those pointers and already started. The alignment with the descriptors. She did note 1 descriptor. I think we had an opportunity to address 2 of them maybe in that. Didn't they? Was it 2?
Yes.
Well, I did see that you addressed 1. I felt like you will benefit if you go back and add that other one. So I would go back if I were you there and address that other one, and make sure you put it as well. Put it where, you know, where it's visible, because sometimes it can be so small. You might just want to point out what descriptors you're using and maybe put them up front as well as the text. I thought the references were great. As I said, you cited the references in the class. And if I'm not mistaken, you may have used another source, maybe with your, I think you used another source, like Winston Salem, the community.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was a very good job as well. Everything looks fine. Now, you can clearly go back and make these corrections, you know, on your own time, but as long as you make sure you do that before you do this task, you're fine. Hi, Camille.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We were just going, I was just going over my peer review for Tanya, and I also had Camille as well. With Camille, I thought that Camille's content was definitely in line with the course content. It would be a great idea to reference the text to add to your narrative. It's a great paper, and the narrative read very well. I just feel like you need to go back in there and put those references because you certainly did put in the work. With unpacking, I also thought that you did a great job of unpacking the rubric, and you clearly identified both the fiscal and the human resources, along with dollar amount. That was great. I mean, I felt like that was a transparent thing, which they should be, but not everyone has the dollar amount. So I thought that was excellent. And I was kind of surprised with the fact that it was like just a little bit of money. You didn't have a whole lot, and sometimes that speaks volumes when you can go in there and, you know, it's like you need more human resources than you actually need money, and sometimes the time, it just kind of equates to time. So I thought that was very impressive. Your budget. The quality of your paper, your narrative, it was to me evident that you and your team brainstormed with lots of questioning and critical thinking about how you all would address and attempting to close the gap that exists in the community and the school that you serve. And this was certainly aligned to the rubric requirements that were outlined. The mechanics and grammar, I saw nothing that stood out to me. I thought that was very, very good. It was professionally written. No problems with your sentence structure. But as far as the acronym NCTWC, I guess that's North Carolina Teacher Work Survey or whatever. What was it?
It is.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he noted that when you use it the very first time, I guess it doesn't matter in what component it is in, to always be sure to identify the you know, just spell out what that means, and then later you could just use the acronym throughout the paper. So I think that would be just something you could maybe go back and do very easily. As I said, I don't feel like I'm an excellent writer. I feel like I'm an okay writer. So the next person might be able to find more. You see what I say? So I think it was a good idea for us to have two people look at each other's work. But other than that, I thought it was great. Your organization, your headings were very clear, and it helps with the organization of your narrative. Your alignment with the descriptors, you did pretty much the same as Tanya on this one. You didn't use all of your descriptors. I think that you only made reference to one. So with that being said, you could clearly go back in there and do that. That would help you with your paper overall. And the references, again, there were none mentioned. So that was actually the lowest one that I scored you on, like a 1, and it was only because I know that you probably have references, but you didn't put them down, and that would just add. You used that one descriptor, and that was all I saw. So overall, you did a great job, and if you use those suggestions, I think it will help, and maybe the other person has something else that I didn't see. I enjoyed learning about your school. and the wonderful things that are going on at your school as well.
Thank you.
I too.
I also had Camille as well. So if you want, I can follow up and do Camille.
What'd you say?
I also reviewed Camille's work.
Oh, okay.
So if you want, I can go ahead and do that. You just
that'd be fine.
I thought it was really good. You aligned the course content with the North Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey, and you referenced the National PTA. Also, I think you addressed the rubric well. My only suggestion with that was where it talked about, in the rubric, it talked about working with others. And I think it would be effective if maybe you identified who you worked with. So you talked about people making suggestions and offering ideas, but I thought maybe if you told who that group was that you worked with during the process. I thought that you clearly identified your fiscal and human resources, and that it was well written. I didn't see any mistakes with grammar or mechanics. The only thing I was unclear of, talked about the 4x4 schedule. Well, we don't do that in my district, so I thought maybe, like, I didn't really know what it was, so maybe when you're talking about the 4x4, if you just clarify, like, or give more information about what that is. I thought that the organization was good. Your headings were good. It was easy to identify what information you were presenting. And I thought that the charts that you included were also very effective in organizing your information. And same as Mary said, it was evident that you addressed 3A2 within your artifact, but just identifying that. So you did identify the 5C2, but not the 3A2. So identifying that descriptor. And for references, Camille, I thought that you mentioned the North Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey, and like I mentioned before, the National PTA. So I think that maybe if you cited those within your in the narrative, and then including those in your reference section at the end of your artifact.
Okay.
Did you get all that?
I did.
Okay. So, but I thought it was really good otherwise, especially with the National PTA. Like, one of your sentences, you put according to the PTA. So since you're referring to them, then you probably want to cite them.
Okay.
But everything looked really good. You did a good job. And like I said, I like charts. They make things easy to read. So I liked your charts.
But you know what? Not all charts are easy to read. So I thought that was a good point you made. Hers was very easy to follow. As far as the budget, I mean, it was real. Like, you know, sometimes things are not so friendly, and it was a very friendly chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who was your other person?
I also had Heather.
Oh, okay.
I reviewed Heather's. Heather, I thought yours was really good. You were very thorough. You included a lot of detail with your data, and your needs assessment had a lot of good information. I thought that you aligned the content with appropriate external sources. You had your interview, the North Carolina School Report Card, and the North Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey. So I thought it was good to use those with your to align your content with those sources. Your rubric, you followed the rubric very well, especially when you were determining the future needs and developing those resources, you discussed your focus group that you had created with internal and external stakeholders. So I thought that was really effective, especially that you're bringing people from inside and outside of the school. And then I thought your work with your focus group showed critical thinking, and with that focus group, you had more in-depth understanding of the issues and the needs of your school. I also thought that it was very easy to read and follow. You had appropriate headings. It was in a good order that made sense. It was logical. I saw one mistake, I think, in the section, the section with the heading of analysis of needs. If you go down to the last paragraph, in the 5th line of that paragraph, there's a period needed between the words school and only. You have the word school, and then you have only, and it's capital, but there's not a period there. It's not very minor. I just noticed it. And again, I liked your action plan chart. I thought your chart was really good. I liked how it identified the action plan, the resources. It had everything laid out very nicely. And it was very clear that you had addressed the descriptors within your narrative. However, like, you didn't specifically put like descriptor 3A2 or 5C2. So I would just recommend putting those in there. Because you addressed them. I mean, they were evident. It was evident that you did those things, but I would just actually put them in the narrative to make it stand out.
Is that something that you guys have been like instructing other trucks and stuff? I actually started in 2000 and I suspended. That's the first word to actually identify the specific construct of paper.
Our professor last time in 601, he gave us templates to follow for our evidences, our artifacts, which was very nice. I mean, he included like the headings we should use, and that was always one of the headings.
Okay.
So
I'll just go back to the book, I guess, and find those actual numbers of the descriptors.
and I got them from the handbook.
Okay.
Where it has the rubric and all.
Uh-huh.
And then your citations in text and in the reference section, they all look good. I didn't see any problems with those.
Okay.
But it was very good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Thank you.
Well, I had Tanya. I had also to I guess since about Tanya's group, address that one first. I grew up in Forsyth County, so it was pretty cool to read a paper about from about 2nd grade all the way through graduation. And you had so much information about the school system. I was like, oh, I never knew this. Like, even all of the special schools, and it seemed like you had such a good handle on all this information about the schools for all the classifications of students. I thought that if you have that resources from, I didn't realize that. You need to see. To start, I guess, and make my way down. I felt like it was aligned with the course content, and it was appropriate. With those first couple of pages, with that rich information about the school system, there'll be several paragraphs, and then you would put kind of a citation about like from the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools website, maybe more references in there, like not just read get to the bottom and say, oh, that's where you got that information. 'Cause
Okay.
how does she know all this stuff? This is awesome, you know. Like, did that just come out of your head, you know? So
Right.
just parenthetical citations and doing all of our papers. Professor, it's supposed to be in like APA. The in-text citations should be like in the author's name, comma, and then the article.
Uh-huh.
That the suggestion there.
Okay. And I'm having a problem hearing. I may have to
I
change my
am too.
computer. It was raining here earlier, and my internet is with the satellite, so it may have jarred the satellite a little bit. So I may have to change computers or go into another room to make sure, because I'm having problems hearing you. Okay.
Okay. Is anybody else having trouble hearing?
I am too. It's like I'm hearing
feedback.
Oh, I'm in a big room or something. But I'll try to go on. It looks like your PLC and how you use SurveyMonkey to do the survey, but there's no in there. There's no of who your PLC members were or who participants were. I just kind of was curious, like how they were randomly selected or how many were randomly selected, you know, kind of thing. I love that ideas. None of them take money. That was pretty cool.
Yes, yes. And I've written my paper, I've made some changes. So the survey I've added to, and also the other comment you just made, I've added to that as well.
Good. And I know, you know, these things are drafts too, and some of us may have already made revisions before the peer reviews or, you know, shortly after. So I think that I love how you talked about how you asked the external stakeholders what they wanted and how that's kind of an initiative in Cleveland County as well, so why not really to do a goal on that. You know, that may be something that you could look at in trying to first happy all how
Okay.
and then you used critical thinking skills. I mentioned about format, like mentioned it about those subs and add things so that it'll be easier and an easier.
Okay.
There were no graphs or charts, so
I added that too. Thank you.
About my county.
Mm-hmm.
My one that I reviewed was yours, Mary. And I'm the one that you've been calling it.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah.
I
couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
This that I reviewed. And let's see. Hold on. So click on my computer. Use my computer. So the first part of it, I feel like it was aligned very well. And I like that you referenced the outside readings, including it's always good to see this official. And I liked that. Also, I identify across the board. It looked like a lot. Remaining on. I hope that you to do.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you at all now. I don't know why. Okay, it comes like it goes in and out. But I'm sure you're still on mine, right?
Yeah.
No, you're good. Go ahead, because I'm actually looking at it as you read it.
Okay. Talking about the amount of money it takes for some of the goals, it seemed like there were a lot of money. I know in my county doesn't have that kind of money, so yours does. That's really great. But
well,
maybe.
Yeah, and I understand your point, but I actually, this came from our actual budget, so.
That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love seeing your partners with Wilson.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Made me think of some ideas for maybe partnering with Gardner Webb, which will be about a mile away from where I'm going to be working in the fall at Bowling Springs Elementary. I partner with colleges, especially with the and for mentors. I thought that was really rich.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is with the Winthrop one, it's also getting their teachers prepared too. They're, the ones that are coming straight out of college, they have an opportunity to come there and do like their teaching. And we use their staff to come in and help assist the teachers with staff development. Yeah. So that's kind of like an even trade-off in a way. But with Clemson, they do have to pay a fee, but they do have a partnership with them.
Yeah, I really. And I proper heading charts are easy. And I feel like it was a very good and enjoyable paper. So I thank you for letting me read both of you ladies' paper.
Thank you.
Well, I had Mary as well. And in addition to what Heather said, I noticed on a couple of artifacts that I did that I didn't include a summary, and so I know somebody always said to always include a summary to kind of bring everything together. So at the end, you might want to add a summary. And there are only a few minor, like mechanics and grammar. And that's only because of my OCD. Now the issue that I had was were we supposed to add component A and B with the C?
I think it's like a of it.
Or we just supposed to just submit C?
Just C.
Oh, well, A and B 601, I think.
Right. Okay. Because all right, so Mary, it was the acronym that you used for the school. It was like in the second paragraph. Then I scrolled up to see if possibly it was mentioned earlier in A and B, because I think you included A and B in yours. But eventually I knew what it was. You got an extra period in the last sentence under the heading of School Improvement Committee. Okay. And then in the fiscal resource column, it is a W with a question mark. And I think in the fourth row of your table, in the middle column, the fiscal resource, you have an open parentheses, but then you don't have the closing parentheses.
Okay.
And then there was an extra column on the side, and you had like two little things that had your name on the side. So I didn't know what that was. I was like, is she trying to make a comment on her own paper?
Well, you know what? That's the thing. I am gonna have to work on that. So I'm assuming, because I didn't see yours actually posted, but so I'm assuming that was probably my weakest link for you, my mechanic.
That's only because I have OCD.
Well, at least you're honest.
Because I'm not the best writer, but
I'm not either. And not paper proves it. But you can tell me again, maybe put it on the paper so I'll be able to follow it, because that would definitely help. I
posted it. I posted it today.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go back in there. Because I did, actually, that's what I did with everybody. When I had to review, I just kind of looked, I made sure that I try to put it out there a little bit in advance, not much, but a little bit in advance so you could see it, and then actually made a copy of it. But if that's all noted on the review, I'll definitely go back and try to make it better. I think though that Heather, I think you made a comment about my formatting as well. I can't tell you what I did to do that. So evidently, the only thing I can say is to err is human. And I really don't know how that got on there. I'm still wondering how it got on there. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, that was it. And then I think I had...
You had Kristen.
Right.
I need to talk too, guys.
My God, we only have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
Okay, well, we're good. Okay. I mean, I posted both of them today.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead with Kristen's while you look. Are you looking for yours?
Oh no, I have it up.
Okay. But
I just know in the reference in your paper you referenced the State Department of Educators website, but you didn't put it in your reference.
Okay.
Go, Tanya, go.
Okay.
Go.
I had Kristen's also, and I felt that your content was aligned with the course content. One thing maybe I missed it. I said I did not find any suggested information from the course readings or previous course readings that maybe you've done some other research with. I said the school setting, you provided good information about the school setting and their staff and the makeup of the community. And maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anything about maybe the demographics of the students. What else? In the paper, I said, maybe you need to list the members of your focus group. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see it, but maybe you did. And then I said the rubric was aligned. The candidate understands problem solving and critical thinking that was displayed in the writing. And the artifact is composed with great sentences and grammar structure. And the descriptors required were clearly addressed in your artifacts. And also, I didn't see a reference page, but did you have one? Or did I miss it? Did I not print it out? I don't know. Okay, and that was the only thing I didn't see a reference page, but you may have had, and like I printed out the paper because I'm so visual, I needed to see it. So that's all I had with yours, but great. I enjoyed reading it. It was written very well, and I enjoyed learning about your school. Heather, I also had you. Let me see, let me get mine out for you. I enjoyed reading about your school as well. I said that your content was aligned with the course content. And also that you've provided good information about your school information. And in the paper, the needs assessment was reviewed and analyzed in great depth.